What's going on, dudes? Ghxst here, and welcome back to some more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. This is part 39. If you guys remember where we left off, I'm not even about to waste time because the trial is heating up in a way that I never would have expected Phoenix Wright to take a turn at. So, long story short, it appears Emma killed Neil Armstrong, Neil Marshall, and we have evidence to prove it. And that's where we're heading now. So, and apparently, because Emma killed what's his name, Neil. Even though dude was a serial killer, Joe Dark, he was innocent in the sense since he didn't kill Neil, and he Edgeworth sentenced the innocent man to death, regardless of him being a serial killer or otherwise. So that's where we are now. If you guys look at your see and want more Phoenix Wright, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let's get into the video. Make sure everything's recording. Jesus. Sorry, Edgeworth. I didn't mean to get you in trouble. Don't worry about it. This is my problem, not yours. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Gumshoe, you get on my nerves, bro. Ain't you supposed to be at home watching daytime television? You're out of the job now. You're interrupting a very sensitive moment at the moment, bro. Oh, yes I am. I'll come back later. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run around while on duty. And to top it all off, you call me here? I've seen happier people at funerals. I take it Lana's having you run errands again? Let me tell you, this is the last time, pal. Here, she asked me to give this to you if there was a break in today's trial. Evidence law. Edgeworth was talking about this just the other day. You must know the two rules of evidence law. Rule 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. You could at least study some evidence law, really. The chief prosecutor also wanted me to give you a message. A message? She said, if you're planning to take him on, you're going to need this book. Him. I guess I'll need to give this book a thorough read. Evidence Law from Miss Sky explains the two rules of evidence law. That whole book is on two rules. That's insane. Doesn't look like that book will do you any good now, though. All that's left now is the chief prosecutor's sentence. That's where you're wrong, detective. Huh? Haven't you figured it out yet? Why I'm still sitting in that prosecutor's seat? Despite all these allegations being thrown at me? Mr. Edgeworth, the real trial today hasn't begun yet. Jesus. I want this trial to be over with so bad. What? What else is there left to do? Your credibility has all but ruined with this forged evidence you were unaware of. Emma Sky found out she unwittingly caused a man's death. And now you're telling me what to do? You want to do more? You've got to be kidding me, pal. Please tell me you're kidding. You're missing the point, detective. I have to pop my back. Lana didn't murder Detective Goodman. She merely stuck a knife into his dead body. Hold on. That means the real killer is still out there. What? and we're going to expose him, no matter what it takes. This case has hurt too many people. It's time to bring it to an end. Please do. If I'm going against GANT, this is going to be longer than the last video. This video is going to be 2 hours long. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. The inquiry committee is planning to impose harsh penalties for your actions. Thank you for the news, Your Honor. Yes, well, ahem. Normally, this is where the prosecution calls forth a witness. But, ahem. This isn't easy to say. You see, there's some concern that you, Mr. Edgeworth, may have, struck a bargain. You think I may have manipulated the witnesses? I didn't say that. It's just, you see, everyone has been talking and... Very well, Your Honor. I have a solution. A solution? That being the case, the prosecution will allow the defense to call forth all further witnesses. What? But there's no precedent for what you're proposing. Undeniably, this is an unusual arrangement, but a very effective one. It would prove that I haven't struck any deals with the witnesses. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say? Yes, duh. Unbelievable. Edgeworth has found a way to continue the trial. Very well, the defense accepts the prosecution's proposal. Then it is settled. The, defense may now call forth the next witness. Mr. Wright? You do realize this is your last chance? If you call the wrong witness, this trial is as good as over. I'm really getting penalized for this, golly. The defense calls. The time's finally come to bring out the real murderer. GANT.
Take that!
Damon GANT. The defense calls Damon GANT to the stand. Damon GANT? What does he have to do with anything? As the defendant's partner 2 years ago, Mr. GANT has first-hand knowledge of the crime. I feel we should hear what he has to say about it. As luck would have it, he should still be in the courtroom. He will also be the least likely to have been manipulated by me in any way. Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor? True. Alright, bailiff, please escort Mr. GANT to the stand. It's time, you big, burly bastard. Anyway. Witness, please state your name and occupation. What is this, some kind of practical joke? I was just on my way to lunch. Your name and occupation, sir. Worthy, are you sure you want to do this? Your name and occupation. So, you want to play hardball, eh? Please, Mr. GANT. Fine. My name is Damon GANT. I'm the acting chief of police. Now then, Chief GANT, the court requests to hear your testimony. Oh, righto. What's with the grim face? First, let's clear up this SL9 incident. Oh, you mean the time when Lana's sister murdered the prosecutor? Personally, I think it's been made pretty clear already. There are still some things unaccounted for. Oh, like what? like the role you played in all of this. Son, either you're very brave or very foolish. What do you mean by foolish, bro? We know what you did at 65 years old. Anyway, uh, you're aware of you're aware, of course, that a police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons? Sure. Take my testimony for example. I don't have to. I don't have to give it if I don't want to. What? Is that true? I'm afraid so. The chief of police has the right to refuse to testify. Of course, such an action carries with it certain risks. Don't worry, I'm not here to hinder your trial. Just remember, if this turns out to be a big waste of time, don't say I didn't warn you. Very well. The witness may now begin his testimony. It's time. As I recall, Neil and I were questioning him that day. To make a long story short, we slipped up. That power outage didn't help either. When I went to my office, I found Lana there. Apparently, she had already arranged the crime scene. As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. Was that when Dark was arrested? Him? He was lying on the floor unconscious. When Emma sent Neil flying, it seems Dark bumped his head. I see. Everything seems pretty clear cut. If the police chief has the right to refuse to testify, then I better hit him hard and fast. Pause. Alright, you ain't said nothing but a word, Phoenix. Let's lock in. Rushing for the day, to make a long story short, we slipped up, the power outage didn't help. How can you know that? Because of the victim's body. It had already been moved. So that means you found the body near Lana's desk. That's right. I think you said earlier it was my suit of armor that really stabbed the prosecutor. Yes. Anyways, as you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. So you're saying that the forgery had already taken place by the time you arrived at your office? That's exactly what I'm saying. I can understand how Lana must have felt. But moving a body and hiding evidence are inexcusable no matter what the circumstances. Is that how it really went down? Staring at the witness won't do you any good, Mr. Wright. If you're going to stare at anything, you'd be better off staring at the court record. Worthy, always the smooth talker. But which piece of evidence ties GANT to the forgery? Lana did admit to forging evidence, but that can't be the whole truth. Somehow I got to link GANT to this incident. How? So the two of you ran immediately after him, right? That's right, but Dark made it to the elevator first. So Neil and I split up. He went upstairs and I went downstairs. I guess you could say he got lucky. What's this about a power outage? Oh, that? The elevator stopped all of a sudden. I got the shock of my life. Well, probably not as shocked as Neil when that knife went into his heart, though. That's not funny. Alright. Questioning him that day. While I was there. Could you tell us what you saw? It was a shocking sight. Neil and that serial killer were laying in a heap on the floor, all tangled together. Dark was also lying collapsed on the floor. Yes, apparently he hit his head and was knocked out. Next to them were those two poor girls, Lana and Emma. Lana was cradling Emma in her arms. Looking back at it now, she must have already known what her sister had done. This man is trying so hard to get a little girl thrown in jail. Go to hell, you old ass man. Hold on. As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. Hold on. Hold on. My controller's acting up again. 2 rules of evidence law. No evidence shall be shown without unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. That's all that little book has to say? Wasn't this found in your, thing?
Objection!
Yeah! There you go! If he really had nothing to do with the forgery, then how do you explain this? What's that? And what's that on it? A handprint? Chief Gant, your explanation, please. I don't know. You tell me, son. You're the chief of police and you want to play games. Alright, we can play games. I'm in that mood tonight. Huh? My dear Righto. Don't you know the second rule of evidence law? Uh-oh, not this again. Evidence law. Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. Tell me, how is that rag relevant to this trial? It appears the defense was not prepared. I guess it's too early to use this piece of evidence. Please accept my profound apologies, Chief. Would you mind giving the defense another chance? Well, okay, but I'll do it just this once, only because you asked, Udgy. Thank you. I assure you the defense is terribly sorry. Hahaha. Yeah, sorry I didn't nail you. Pause, bro. Really? I had nothing to do with the forgery. You had nothing to do with the forgery. Wasn't this evidence list found on your desk too? But is that half of it was found in Gant's desk? Yes.
Objection!
You claim you had nothing to do with the forgery. I'm afraid that's a claim you cannot back up. Explain yourself. Several pieces of evidence were found in your office. Take this list for example. That's the list Emma Sky drew her picture on. This was discovered in your desk. Not only that, but a piece of this jar that was sitting in your office was found inside your safe. I still can't believe that painting, that blood stain really spelled out Emma. My echo went off again. It was found where? You see, Chief Gant. These articles of evidence uncovered in your office are both concrete proof that you also play a part in in the illegal investigation. Chief GANT, what's the meaning of this? Oh, here's a defense attorney who may even rival Worthy. So you admit to it then, that you were involved in the forgery? Who, me? Or do you mean you? Me? Why would I have to have anything to do with that? Well, you were the one who snuck into my office when you found this evidence. Prosecutors aren't the only ones capable of forging evidence, you know. Defense attorneys can do that too. Isn't that right, Righto? However, Detective Gumshoe was present during the investigation. Worthy, my boy. Not even detectives are exempt from the law. Rest assured, Dick will receive his due punishment. What? Wait. If Detective Gumshoe's salary drops any further, he'll end up paying to work. That's hilarious. Yes, well, in light of the detective's presence, please give us your testimony regarding these pieces of evidence found in your office, and in relation to the forgery that took place at the crime scene. My. Kids these days no longer know how to put two and two together. Ain't you pushing 70 if you don't retire, bro? Let's see. What was it now? A jar fragment in the list? For all I know, you could have planted them in my office. Really? Anyway, she can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. If they were found after Dark was convicted, then they're worthless. There's no reason I participate in a forgery. Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? When investigating the crime scene, you should have been more careful to observe protocol. You do understand that I am the chief of police, right? There will be consequences. Oh. Indeed, I believe I will press charges so you won't make the same mistake again. My apologies, Chief, but would you mind waiting until tomorrow for that? Today is, well, you know. Alright, Aji. In return, though. I know. That place, right? Huh? What are these guys telepathic? What are they talking about? I'm trying to get freaky, nasty in the... Ugh. For all I know, you could have planted them in my office. Anyways, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. If they were found after Dark was convicted, then they're worthless. GANT isn't the one who murdered Prosecutor Marshall 2 years ago. Yeah, I know he played a part in the forgery. That can only mean someone asked him to be an accomplice. Damon GANT? Someone's accomplice? That sounds unlikely. What do you mean by that? This is all purely hypothetical, of course. But suppose I did place those items in my safe. Such an act wouldn't necessarily constitute forgery. If concealing evidence found at a crime scene isn't forgery, I'm not through speaking yet, Righto. It all depends on when evidence was discovered. Then they'd be worthless. Hold on. GANT isn't the one who murdered Prosecutor Marshall 2 years ago. Yeah, I know he played a part in the forgery. That can only mean someone asked him to be an accomplice. me look at this thing again. Bro, my controller! Thank you. Let me just press on everything. Are you saying this jar fragment wasn't discovered in the initial investigation? It would appear not. After all, it wasn't listed in the evidence list. For all we know, it could have suddenly materialized the day after Dark was sentenced. Oh, and wouldn't that be convenient? Right. The chief is talking about a possibility. So long as you can't rule that out. The remarks, however clever they may be, will only succeed in wasting time. Tell me something I don't know. Come now, Rido. Think about it. There's no reason I place or participate in a forgery. How can you look me in the eye and say that? Because I'm innocent. Remember? Who was it that murdered Neil? I'm not sure I care for the word murder here. But in the end, the person responsible for Mr. Marshall's unfortunate demise was Emma Skye. Well, now do you see? Rearranging the crime scene would help me out in any way. Really, Chief Gant? At the very least, there is one very large benefit you've reaped from all this. Oh, I wasn't aware. What is this benefit? That would of course be the position you have, Chief of Police. Okay. That's a good thought. The resolution of the SL9 incident secured your promotion to chief. That in itself is sufficient motive. Ha ha ha! Oh, that's a good one. Huh? Do you really think I'm that incompetent? What do you mean? Even without that case, I was already in line to become the next chief. The resolution of SL9 merely sped up the inevitable a little. Is that true, Edgeworth? Yes. He was going to be made chief anyway. Gah! Be careful when pointing that finger, or you might wind up being the one pointed at. So that means there's only one possible motivation for you to commit forgery. If you didn't do it for yourself, you did it for someone else. Don't be silly, Worthy. You know me better than that. Do we, bro? Do we really? I don't trust that smile on your face. There's only 3 people I look out for. Me, myself, and I. There. It's out in the open now. Udgy, would you mind if I change my testimony a little? By all means, please do. I wouldn't be anyone's accomplice, even if there was nothing in it for me. Nothing in it for you? Sorry, but the only person I care about is yours truly. That girl, Lana's little sister, was it? If you think I felt sorry for her, then you better think again. You're right, you don't feel sorry for anyone. Be tough on crime and tough on people. That's how I was raised. You seem to be lax enough on yourself, though. Ho ho ho! Oh, that's a good one, Worthy. Could there have been something in it for him? Given his selfishness, will he have helped someone out? Point out accomplice. I'm gonna say no, because I can't think of anything. But I can't think of how it would help him. That means he wouldn't have helped out anyone. Relax and take a deep breath, Mr. Wright. Try to think outside the box. After all, that's what you're good at, isn't it? Think outside the box. I never thought I'd hear him tell me that. The question isn't who would the chief help. It's who would ask the chief for help. If someone did that, he'd sure find a way to benefit from that person. It appears the defense has nothing more to say. Chief, would you please repeat your testimony from the beginning? Okay. I know what I'm doing.
Hold it!
Nothing in for you. We got that far. Point out accomplice. True, you might not help out anyone for their sake. But if it would benefit you, you might decide to assist someone. Mr. Wright, it appears you're positively determined to portray the chief as a nice man who likes to lend people a hand. That's not what I mean. Very well then. Who's the person you believe Chief GANT may have helped in forging evidence? Lana? Because they were partners in crime?
Take that!
Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye? The defendant? I believe it's quite obvious in light of the circumstances. Emma Skye fell victim to an unfortunate series of events. Who would want to help her more than her own sister, Lana? And as for Chief GANT, he will also have a reason to help Lana if she asks him to. That reason, of course, is self-profit. Self-profit? What do you mean? After the SL9 incident was resolved, Lana Skye was appointed Chief Prosecutor at the prosecutor's office. The person who arranged this job change was you, Chief GANT. But how would he profit from all of this? He will be able to use the Chief Prosecutor as his puppet. Essentially, he will acquire unchecked authority over all investigations. Do you mean to tell me that despite the Chief's formidable appearance, he played with puppets? He plays with puppets? Chief, you're starting to piss me off, bro. Or not Chief, Judge. Oh, wait. You must mean puppet as in someone blah 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 blah. Admit it, Chief. You assisted Lana Skye in forging evidence. Your motive? To appoint her as Chief Prosecutor so you could control her. Right on, my boy. You have quite an imagination. Let me ask you something. What? Do you have any proof of this? That I controlled Lana? For example, is Lana testifying that I've done such a thing? Lana? She's keeping quiet to protect Emma. There's no way she'd testify against GANT. I'm afraid without any proof, this all amounts to nothing more than mere conjecture. Unless... that is also what happened in this incident. This incident? Which one would that be? Of course I'm talking about the murder of Detective Bruce Goodman. The Chief Prosecutor has been acting strange throughout this entire trial. Almost as if someone had been controlling her. Worthy, you better watch your tongue. Or what? Old ass man. I won't want you to get hurt. Just what do you mean? What he means, Your Honor, is that Chief Gant is involved in the murder of Detective Goodman. Not only that, but the chief is now making Lana to be the rap to cover up his involvement. What? It's all starting to make sense now. Order, order! I said order! Right. You can't be serious. Huh? This is an affront to the highest ranking officer in our law enforcement agency. To accuse the chief of police of blackmail and murder? That's impossible. Why do you feel so passionate about this? Your Honor, I was merely reiterating what Mr. Edwards said in easier to understand language. It's too late, Mr. Wright. There's no turning back for us now. It looks like he's the one who decided to go through with this. Can you prove this, Mr. Wright? That the chief, a high-ranking officer of the law, is involved in this murder. Good question. Regardless of his rank or title, Chief Gant is just a man. The question is he a criminal? I believe the evidence will tell. I see. Alright then. Let's see. Hold on. Save. You're not about to get me like this. Let's see what Mr. Wright's got, and it better be good. Show us the evidence that ties Chief Gant to the murder of Detective Goodman. Alright. Alright, hold on. A piece of cloth with Emma Sky's fingerprints on it? That's not gonna do me any good. I don't know. Would it be evidence that ties Chief Gant to the murder of Detective Goodman? The trophy don't make no sense. Toolbox, no traces of blood, no fingerprints. Goodman's autopsy, hold on. Date and time of death, February 21st, between 4 and 5:30. Stabbed to the chest wound. Yo, I'm sorry, it's like, what, 2:30, like almost 3 a.m. when I'm recording this. I'm tired. I wanted to say it's the autopsy report.
Take that!
Well, Chief, so long as right over here is tossing out things regardless of their relevance, might I toss something too udgy? This shoe should do nicely. I'll chuck it at you. You always were quite the joker, weren't you? Oops. Looks like I got it wrong. Don't oops me. Maybe this boost. Wow. I know it's hard with all that's going on in this trial. But try to think back to what happened in the evidence room 4 days ago. Now that he mentioned it, we did find something yesterday during investigation. Something that proves Gant entered that room. Looks like he wasn't another one of your... It's like he wants another one of your boots, Udgy. I see. Alright then. The glove?
Take that!
Nope, that didn't... But try to think back to what happened in the evidence room 4 days ago. Wait a minute. What happened in the evidence room, not what's in there. What if... Ooh! Okay, I've got an idea. I need y'all to follow me on this. What if, instead of Jake going to get going into the evidence room, it was actually Gant disguised as Goodman, because he's the 777 number, which alludes to him being in that room. Okay. Ties Gant to the murder. Okay, I have a few ideas. Okay. This number here. The 777 number, which is proof that he was in the evidence room.
Take that!
This is the ID card list. Yes, the one that shows who entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. There was one ID on the list that we couldn't determine the owner of yesterday. 777. Sorry, but there's no way you can prove that's my card number. It's your number. What? How do you know that? The safe in Chief Gant's office requires a code to open. A 7-digit code. 7 digits? You don't mean... I'm afraid so, Your Honor. The code was 777-7777. I hope that's the last time I have to say that, because that was good. The same number as the remaining ID card number on that list. Chief Gant, you entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. Yeah, you look different now. You look mad now. You're sweating. Order, order. Chief Gant, what do you have to say? You can't say nothing. Nothing. The defense's search of my office was a violation of regulations. And you will demand Mr. Wright to be punished to the maximum extent of the law? But right now, this court demands an explanation from you about the use of this ID card. Chief Gant, so you admit it. You entered the evidence room on the day of the crime? What about it? I'm chief of police, whether it's in the evidence room or the bathroom. What's the difference? I can go anywhere I want. Tell me, when you entered the room, were you alone? I always go to the bathroom alone, as I do with the evidence room. Detective Goodman wouldn't have happened to be with you that day, would he? Of course not. Why would he be? I hadn't seen him in days.
Objection!
You hadn't seen him in days? Chief Gant? I'm afraid you just undone yourself. On that day, you had to have met with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? This trial's purpose is to determine Lana Sky's guilt.
Objection!
No, it isn't, Your Honor. This trial's purpose is to determine the truth. If Chief Gant met the victim on the day of the crime, then we need to determine one thing. What transpired during that meeting? Ooh, we're getting to the meat and potatoes of this game now. In that case, Mr. Wright, I'm going to have to ask you for evidence. Show us proof. Oh, crap. Show us proof that the victim went to meet Chief Gant on the day of the crime. Let me look at this. Oh, wait. Not that. ID. Not that. That he met up with, none of this is gonna help me. Found in the trunk. Nope. Phone call. Nope. That he met with, submitted to the chief of... Oh, wouldn't it be this? Yeah, hold on. Let me go back to the autopsy report real quick. February 21st. Okay. So he had to have met, man, golly. Alright. He had to have met, the chief of police, or Goodman had to have met the chief of police to submit this lost item. So, yeah, like I said, only can be submitted to the chief of police. Detective Goodman lost his ID on the day of the crime. Or to be more accurate, Jake Marshall stole it. So Detective Goodman filled out a lost item report. He would have had to give that report to the chief of police. Yet you are in possession of that report, which means you can't be sure if he filled it or filed it. He filed it. How do I know, you ask? Because he needed to enter the evidence room that day. He needed to enter the evidence room that day. He needed to? Yes, to transfer the evidence out. Oh. Detective Goodman took the form to you, Chief Gant. Then you accompanied the detective to the evidence room. I accompanied him? There's no way the murderer and Detective Goodman could have entered the room. Hold on, let me guess what you're going to say next. I, the chief of police, murdered poor Goodman. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Exactly. But wait! The chief didn't necessarily need to accompany him to the evidence room. They could have just lent him his ID card. Yes. Yo, Judge, whose side are you on, bro? I didn't even read any of that. Sorry, but that's not possible. According to the record, your card was only used once. Yet you showed us your ID card earlier. If you had really lent it to Detective Goodman, it would have been found on his body. Whoa! What was that? He just exploded. Chief Gant, you didn't. The murderer was most likely a spur-of-the-moment crime, for no one in their right mind would choose the police department as a place to commit murder. After the murder, you contacted Lana Sky at the prosecutor's office. Why? To dispose of Detective Goodman's body, of course. You're forgetting, Mr. Wright. The victim's body was discovered in the prosecutor's office parking lot. How did he manage to move it there? I was at the police department the entire day, you know. And everyone's aware that Lana Sky stayed at the prosecutor's office after the ceremony. Everyone except me, it seems. Still, you're the chief of police. You have an entire police force at your disposal. Oh, so you think I ordered an officer to do it? Hey, you! Take this here dead body here to the prosecutor's office. I don't think so. Chief Gant, you left all the evidence we need. To prove how you moved the body to the prosecutor's office. And All this time, I thought it was just a useless clue, just taking up space. How could the chief have moved the body? Mr. Wright, show us this evidence. To move the victim's body, Chief GANT used this. Use what? A parking stub? Hold on. I can't even save anymore. To move the body. He said it was just something taking up space. Let me see. This is Edgeworth's parking stub. How can you move the body? I'm confused. He said it was just here taking up space. The parking stub?
Take that!
Nope. A parking stub. Miles Edgeworth. You mean... The body was found in the trunk of Edgeworth's car. I think it's obvious what happened. The body was moved by car. That's the only way it could have made sense. But I still want to know how they jacked into Edgeworth's car. You mean I carried the victim's body? Precisely so. But wait, even you know I didn't plan on returning to my office after the ceremony finished that day. But you did return. Tell me why. I was asked to go by Chief GANT, no less. He told me he wanted me to keep me here in the prosecutor's office. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here. This is wild, y'all. So you see, what you were really talking to, what were you really taking to the What you were really taking to the prosecutor's office wasn't the screwdriver, but the victim's body in your trunk. That's crazy. Detective Goodman's body was carried in the trunk of Edgeworth's car? Yes. Unless, of course, you have another explanation, Chief? Why else would you have asked Mr. Edgeworth to transport evidence from a closed case? This man's sneaking again. There's only one plausible explanation. To transport the body to your accomplice, Miss Lana Skye. Order, order, order! What's going on here? Is there no room for rebuttal to the defense's outrageous accusations? Bro, whose side are you on? Think back to the photograph Miss Starr took at the prosecutor's office. This was not a photo of the body being stuffed in the trunk to be taken away. It was exactly the opposite. It is a photo of the body being taken from the trunk. Chief GANT, please say something. I believe your time is up. What does that mean? My time's up. Sorry, Righto, but I'm having lunch with the District Attorney General after this. We have to get going if we're going to make it in time for the early bird special. What the fuck? Boy, if you don't stay till last year! But the cross-examination isn't finished yet. Remember what I told you earlier? A police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons? Like the right to refuse to testify. I'm invoking that right now. What? That is not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered. So you're going to just run away after all this? Run away? Don't make me laugh, Worthy. I stabbed old Goodman. That's what you're saying, right? But if you had any conclusive evidence, you would have presented it by now. Well, I think I had Lana dispose of the body. If so, then show your proof and get it over with. Hold on, I'm gonna save real quick. I'll say it again, Mr. Wright. Damon Gant is the current chief of police. This court will not tolerate any accusations against him without concrete proof. Well, Mr. Wright, Your Honor. Oops. You have any concrete proof? Proof that Chief Gant murdered Detective Goodman and made Lana Skye dispose of his body? I have no proof yet. It's no use showing evidence I'm not even sure of myself. No, Your Honor. At present, I have no conclusive evidence. See, Udgy? In that case, this court is forced to penalize you for your allegations against the chief. What? Here's a tip. Never gamble what you can't afford to lose, Rhino. It seems that Lady Luck was on my side again today. Okay, Udgy, I'll leave the rest to you. He's leaving? What? I warned you earlier, Mr. Wright. This is an affront to the senior officer in our nation's law enforcement agency. What? Lady Luck, Maybe we should have a word with her. Mr. Edgeworth, what do you mean? There's one lady who knows the real truth behind this trial. We haven't yet had the honor of hearing her testify. A lady who knows the truth, another witness. In the absence of conclusive evidence, the only other method of proof is testimony. But Chief Gant has invoked his right to refuse to testify. The only one, there's still someone else. One more witness who can answer all the questions raised in this trial. Someone right in this very room. Mr. Edgeworth, who is this person? Why are you looking at me, Your Honor? Haven't you forgotten? The defense is the one calling witnesses today. Mr. Wright, does such a witness exist? She may not be willing to tell the truth, but we can't stop now. Yes, Your Honor. The defense calls for Lana. Hold on, real quick. I want to see how old Meekins is. Meekins is 22? That is hilarious.
Take that!
The defendant, Miss Lana Skye? She was in the underground parking lot at 5:15 p.m. on February 21st. Her task? To dispose of the victim's body. In accordance with a certain someone's orders. Mr. Edgeworth? The prosecution has no objections, Your Honor. Very well. The court will now take its final recess for the day. In 15 minutes, we will reconvene to hear the defendant's testimony. This court is now in... Hold on. Huh? Chief Gant, I thought you were going to eat. Listen good, Lana. He's talking to Lana. I don't think you need me to tell you this, but if you accept Mr. Wright's claims, there will be terrible consequences. That's right. Your sister will be found guilty. for Neil Marshall's murder. Oh, brother. There's literally no winning here. Ah, this isn't good. Of course, you never support such outrageous claims anyway, right? Just something to think about. All right then. I've got a lunch date to meet. This man is evil. Okay, if there aren't any further objections, this court is now in recess. Oh my god. This is insane. Looks like we managed to stay in the game. Yeah, thanks to your help, Edgeworth. That chief, he's something else, huh, pals? Detective Gumshoe. I'm not detective anymore. Oh yeah, sorry about that. Don't worry, I've already decided where to work now. At your office. My office? Sure. I'll take the place of that top-notch girl you used to work with. Could he mean Maya? Still, looks like we're all out of moves now. And bro, no offense, but Maya was smarter than you, bro. Like you kept cracking jokes and whatnot. Like I don't want to have to go through that every episode. Chief Gant's done it again. How is it he always gets the upper hand? It's not fair. It's not fair. He has the right to refuse to testify. Settle down, Wright. Remember what the judge said. But Chief, that is not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered. Risks? What did he mean by that? It's simple. If the chief refuses to testify, the opposite also holds true. You mean he forfeits his right to say anything too? Emma, are you okay? Yeah, when I came to, I was in the medical office. I've been listening to the trial from the gallery. So she heard everything that's been going on. Emma, sorry for what I said before. No, don't be. It was the truth. You know, it's funny. I almost feel somehow relieved. Relieved? Yeah. Now I finally know what really happened. To think that all this time, my sister was being blackmailed by that terrible man. And she did it all just to protect me. Ever since her appointment as chief prosecutor, everyone who knew her said she changed. Perhaps it was easier that way for her. What do you mean? What do you think I mean? To follow Chief Gant's orders. She must have shut herself up deep inside. Forced herself to anything and everything the chief told her to do. That's crazy. That must be why she became so cold. It was all my fault. It's all because I murdered Mr. Marshall. Hey, don't go blaming yourself now. If you want to blame anyone, blame society, pal. She can't may be able to fool everyone else with his forgery, but you can't fool my memory. I remember now. I knocked Mr. Marshall into that armor. I see. But we better get back in there. It's time for the final act. Emma, why don't you wait here? No, I'm going with you. I want to be there when Lana tells the truth. Let's go, Wright? It's time to end this. To be continued. brother. I'm over here thinking it's gonna continue. But yes, I'm gonna save. The latter part 2. That's hilarious. Whew. Now, assuming I played my cards correct, next episode will be the last episode. I can't wait. But okay, so we're in a bit of a situation now. If Lana doesn't talk, then she's found guilty. But if she does talk, then her sister's found guilty. Quite the predicament we're in. But we have to get Gant to confess that he's involved. That's the only way we're going to be able to win this trial. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are to see and want more Phoenix Wright, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Holy, this is a fascinating trial. I hate how long it's taking. They're really dragging this out, but I'm 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 invested. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to y'all later.
Sometimes I love myself, touch my